following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Lo there do I see my father. Lo there do I see my mother, and my sisters, and my brothers. Lo there do I see the line of my people, back to the beginning. Lo, they do call to me. They bid me take my place among them in the halls of Valhalla, where the brave may live forever.
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
You said the words. You spoke them from your heart. I vomited them up because I couldn't stomach them.
Like a pudding.
Like a pudding.
What are you talking about?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the 4 a.m. podcast, the movie podcast, where each episode we let the D20 of fate decide what movie we're going to watch. I'm your host, Rob, joined by this gaggle of gooses.
Tony.
Beowulf.
A generic Viking man with a non-developed character.
And I'm here also. Hey, so.
I guess I should be Tony the Horrible then.
I'll be
Ibn.
I'll be Rob, the pig-eating son of a whore. Or maybe the whore-eating son of a pig. Dealer's choice, really. We watched The 13th Warrior.
Well,
because
it's more insulting to you. It's more insulting to your mother.
She doesn't talk to me anymore anyway. So we watched The 13th Warrior because John was here last episode, and he rolled a 20, and he chose this movie for us to watch, and so we did. Have any of you seen The 13th Warrior before?
Matter of fact, I have.
John, you came back. He never left.
They just manhandled the D20 of fate and just forced it to roll a 20.
I know.
We do. You and
I do.
Yeah.
said, as he was handed the D20 of fate, he's going to get a 20.
Snatched it in his claws and threw that shit down triumphantly.
I feel like it's really... I feel convicted. I feel like we've been handling the D20 with just pussy fingers this whole time, and we just really haven't been showing it.
I mean,
that
is correct.
And no more D20. Where is it? It's in its little sack. Take it out. Take it out of its sack.
Yeah, it doesn't get to be warm and comfortable.
Cast it naked upon the table. That's a 1. You son of a bitch.
It just rolled out to a 1. It's like, that's what I think of you, Rob.
I believe it just said, you, sir, are not man enough.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Rob, I've got the touch.
I've got the power.
Yeah!
You know what? By the time this margarita's finished, I'm going to have some words for you, D20.
Oh, God, no. This is a terrible episode for Rob to be drinking margaritas, and we have no Doritos.
Getting canceled today.
Can I just make an observation before we begin?
Of course.
So, I'm the one that sort of guides us through the movie and generally, records most of the narrative for, to form a framework for what we discuss.
And I am so grateful.
And this movie, I took about 3 pages of notes.
Uh-huh.
3 solid pages of notes.
You mean you drew the words?
I drew the sounds.
You drew the sounds.
I drew the sounds on 3 pages. I just looked at Rob's notes. It says, title, The 13th Warrior. Then it just says, Snot Bowl. And that's it. That's all Rob has to talk about.
I mean, to be fair.
He did, during the viewing of the movie, make reference. I'm so glad that Joe takes lots of words.
Yes. Oh, he's done that many times as well.
Now, mind you, I didn't have many notes for this movie because I usually take 4 to 5 pages of notes.
Yeah, well,
Oof.
I have
Rob wrote Snot Bowl.
It's widely known I have the attention span of a chinchilla with Asperger's, so it's kind of it's the best I can do.
It's like, well, you clearly would have gotten an F on this paper. Joe is borderline just going to rewrite the Michael Crichton book this is based on.
That's right, folks. This is a Michael Crichton joint.
It is.
Back when he still allowed people to make movies based on his work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and
he
I've
is
seen
a-
this.
This is definitely the best one. Best adaptation of his work.
I think I'm taking a little bit of Tony's thunder here, but this is also a Michael Crichton co-directing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is uncredited, but
The two Michaels worked on this. Crichton and Bay.
nothing blew up.
Yeah.
This is John,
Oh, we'll
what's
come up later.
John
McTiernan?
McTiernan, that's right. Can we say Ratzenberger?
Yes. This is directed by John Ratzenberger.
Now, if we just had Cliff from Cheers wearing a bear skin, like just kind of sitting there watching the rest of them assault the Palisade for
Listen, Tony, you're gonna be 13th Warrior. I can't do a Boston.
Yeah,
I'm
I would
sorry.
love in the beginning, like the fog rolls in, you see the first bear man, and he just pops up and goes, "Hey,
George.
Norm.
what are you guys doing up here?
Maybe George went in a
Want
surprise
some yellow
cameo.
snow cones?"
All right.
So 13th Warrior, Joe, you've seen this before.
I saw this with John.
I feel like we all saw this.
I
I
believe
think we
so.
did. Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure I saw this again in a class of some kind.
Oh no!
Wow.
I remember seeing it with John and being unhappy. And then, that's all I've ever
Yep.
seen of the movie.
It's just
As
happiness from
Was that
point
because
on.
of the movie or John?
As usual, I was like, "What is wrong with you, you
Yeah.
sad sack?"
Come on, Joe. There's swords. There's arguably action scenes. There's people that might be werewolves or bears or werewolves
Werewolves.
Possible bear
or
wolves.
werebears or
Mhm.
Yeah. Was it? Did we see this in the theater or did you
Yeah.
rent? It was in the theater. Okay.
We did see this in the theater.
which makes that more odd that I would see it in class.
I'm I'm fairly certain.
It was
Well,
like-
I mean, obviously we saw it.
1999.
Yeah.
So you would have been just graduating high school. Maybe you saw it in college.
Maybe
If you're in a college class
yeah, there
watching
wasn't
this movie,
like, I was in all
This
yeah.
movie has about 10 minutes of history in it.
yeah,
does.
They're mostly in the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
but
True history.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it postulates an interesting theory as to the creation of the Beowulf myth.
wow,
Um,
that's kind of like saying, in my history class we watched Annabelle because that's based on reality.
We did it for our doll making class. It was great.
yeah, but I mean, at least the character of Ahmed Ibn, I'm not going to attempt to say the whole name. I mean, that's a valid historical figure, and he did write a lot of I don't want to say stories, but he chronicled a lot of his experiences trying to bring Islam across the world.
And now he's a Jeff Dunham puppet.
Now he's a Jeff Dunham puppet. That's terrible.
I'm only halfway through this glass.
That glass is definitely half empty.
Gird your loins, bitches. That's all I'm saying. So we've all seen it. Tony,
Yeah,
is this where we get into other things?
we could
Do you have facts,
don't remember
figures?
any of this. Before,
It
okay.
changes every episode, really.
It didn't used to. Anyway, so yes, John McTiernan directed this movie. Michael Crichton did some reshoots, as we've already kind of brought up. Michael Crichton, of course, being the author of the book this is based on.
Eaters of the Dead.
Yes, which is based on Beowulf, which is based on, and so on. But John McTiernan, of course, we know from Die Hard, Hunt for Red October, Last Action Hero, Rollerball.
Predator.
You see a
Predator.
trend there.
I mean, he's got some hits. He's got some misses. But his hits are...
He does have some big hits.
Yeah, those
Hits,
are some
man.
good hits. I'm not arguing that. Before we go into much else, do you want to weigh in on some of your knowledge, since you seem to be quite knowledgeable on the
book.
whole thing?
Well, I read the actual book when I was in high school, and then I was kind of excited when the movie was coming out. I remember enjoying the book, even though it was a little dry in some patches, but that's to be expected.
That's
because
Crichton.
well, not only is it Michael Crichton, but it's Michael Crichton writing a supposed historical account. And if I remember, a large part of the book was actually meant to be you were reading a manuscript, and it was like an annotated manuscript that has been translated by other people, and yeah. But it was, I thought it was an interesting story, and Vikings versus cannibal cavemen.
Vikings versus werewolves. It's not to love. I almost wrote that down. I almost wrote Vikings versus werewolves. I would have had 2 notes here.
You were distracted by the snot ball.
I was distracted.
You know what? That's a movie that, and if it was done right,
Would
that would be
dissolve
huge.
into a porno in about 30.
I mean, it could go
seconds.
in that direction too. But people love Vikings right now. A lot of people love werewolves.
Interestingly enough, I don't like Vikings. I don't care about that genre.
Sadly enough, I could have used this time today to go to the theater to watch The Northman. But anyway, so yeah, as mentioned, the original title of the book was Eaters of the Dead. That was the title of this movie initially as well, before it hit test screenings, which deemed it unwatchable. So Michael Crichton took over for some reshoots,
Really?
and they retitled the movie as well.
I would like to know what he reshot. Like, I would like to see the unwatchable version of this.
I could tell you part of it for sure, but
Okay.
we'll get into some of that, including the fact that originally, in akin to the original myth, the woman was supposed to be an older woman that he fights in the cave.
That makes sense, since in theory she gave birth to all of those
The
people.
mother of the Wendell.
Yeah, but they
symbolic.
well, yeah, but still, to be more Beowulf-esque or whatever. But they decided to go younger and sleeker to be sexier or something. I don't know.
I was hard that whole scene.
Make you believe that she could actually land a hit.
Get that hit in, with the poison.
There is that, I suppose.
Bellowith, or however you pronounce his name, I already forgot.
But they actually recast the woman who played her, but they credit the original woman in the end credits. So
Nice.
good for somebody, I guess.
And a spiritual appearance by...
So also during, I believe it must have been during the escape scene in the water, one of the actors almost drowned, and Banderas had to help save him out. Apparently save the guy's life.
I was just going to joke that was when Antonio Banderas fell in the puddle trying to swing the sword.
What? Like, what? Okay. We'll save that. And yeah, the Viking ship that is used in the beginning of this movie is the one you can now find at Epcot Center in Walt Disney World. So, yay.
Where's their Viking ship in?
At the
Imagine over by the Viking. Well,
yeah, the
what used to be
what
like
used to be the the
It's
flume
probably
ride.
got Olaf the Snowman on it or something,
Probably.
doing like twerking.
oh god, I hate this so much. So,
he pelts park goers with cum-filled balloons.
I
I don't know why that came. I don't know where that came
Margaritaville.
from. No, it's not.
Why don't you guess how much money this movie cost to make?
Oh,
Which I
God.
will start by saying this is apparently somewhat disputed online.
Okay.
So reshoots were involved.
Yeah.
And it's 1999.
And it's Michael Crichton. He's high off that JP.
Yeah. I'm feeling this is like a $40-50 million, so I'll go 45 million.
I kind of feel like they spent dumb money on this. I want to throw it around the 80 mark. I'm going to say 80. That's fine. I was going to go higher, but I was like, no, there's no way.
We're gonna break triple. We're gonna go with 100.
Okay. That was my original. Yeah. So.
It was a good idea because it was $160 million.
Jesus Christ, that can't be right.
It'll pay for a lot of dirt, I guess.
Yeah.
From what I read, well, again, this is all, there's a lot that's disputed with all this, but supposedly it was around 80 million prior to the reshoots. But there's also a lot of things saying like a lot of that was marketing or whatever, and
it was
but
pretty
I
heavily marketed.
want to guess how much it made.
Plus, they
Not that.
They
Not anywhere
killed all
near
those
that.
horses.
I
in
remember
every
it was a
scene.
huge flop.
I'll say 50.
I'll say 40. I'm gonna go under and say 40 million.
55.
Yeah, peanut butter center.
$61 million.
I remember there was something else huge that came out that same.
Probably was that a Star Wars or
The Matrix.
Could have been. I mean, 99 could have been pretty much anything.
It probably sucked, though.
Probably.
That's a good question.
Oh, who's in this movie?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
You got Antonio Banderas as Ahmed Ibn Fadlan.
Admiral Akbar.
And then we have a bunch of people as characters that you will never hear the names of.
We have Viking 1. We have Viking 2.
You do get Vladimir Kulik as Ulfric Stormcloak. Bullywolf, the leader, almost Beowulf. And then
Vigo,
We'll
the
just call
Carpathian.
him Beowulf for the remainder of the.
Yeah, and then there are people here and there are character names, but I could not tell you
Right.
what they did in the film.
Just imagine it's like John Turturro in your head. You'll be fine.
Mhm.
And we had I guess it was a little more than a cameo, but a sort of cameo, bit part by Omar Sharif.
As like his translator.
Yeah, he was speaking Greek to that first Viking. That
I think that's Herder. His name translates as joyous.
he's a happy guy.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
played by Dennis.
France.
I don't know what to do with this last name. I'm going to guess Starhoy, but it's probably pronounced different because it has / through the O.
That is the gentleman who almost drowned, and why I did not mention his name.
That explains why he looked so puffy after the.
Also, if you want to know, December 1999, in theaters we had The Green Mile, Stuart Little, Bicentennial Man, Anne and the King, Any Given Sunday, Galaxy Quest, Man in the Moon, Talented Mr. Ripley, Being John Malkovich, Magnolia. So,
Okay.
Galaxy Quest was the best movie out of that list. Prove me
Probably.
wrong.
I'm not going to disagree with that. All right. So, yeah.
Feeling kind of tired, boss.
We begin this film with, an introduction to Ahmed. And, we get our first problem. This man is clearly not an Arab. Being played by Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, but did he do it well?
What, play this guy?
Yeah.
He did okay. He was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I would, how hard would it be to get the guy that's always the Arab bad guy in like True Lies and all those other
but he's a bad guy.
yeah, just get him, or there's other Arab actors you could get.
True.
Just get an Arab.
Maybe they
Omar
were-
Sharif was already taken.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess they don't have the star power that Banderas had at the time.
And they were probably
definitely
busy
not.
filming other movies.
Yeah,
too.
the late 90s was.
I also, at
he
least
was
for
hot off of
me,
Zorro.
I give it a pass because this is not a case of we're putting them into offensive makeup stances or things.
It's
like,
not John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Yes.
I mean, it's.
That would have been funny.
I guess if they were like, well, we're going to cast a white person, Banderas would be the choice, but
Is Banderas a white person?
he's he's from Spain. He has some Moorish descent in him, but I would classify him as white.
In fairness,
Depends on who
like,
you ask.
Yeah.
Omar Sharif is Egyptian.
Yep.
They could have been he could have been his son. Like,
Mhm.
They look close enough. I mean,
Well,
if you didn't know Antonio Banderas was a Spaniard and not Middle Eastern, you might not be able to.
This is also not Sean Connery being from Spain, but
Being
originally Egyptian.
Yeah, from the Spanish Egyptian.
Yeah, that's a
with
whole
With
nother
the thickest Scottish
bag
accent.
Yeah.
That's dicks.
All right.
It was a bag. of
Either
dicks.
way, he's we find out he's a poet / chronicler who's been exiled from Baghdad
You know,
because
like pizza burgers?
his romantic rival, bitch to the caliphate, and
Well, that's because that was the dude's wife.
yeah, and he's like, look, Antonio
One of them,
Banderas,
anyway.
if he stays here, he's gonna fuck her, so he gotta go.
Yeah.
That's right.
So they're like, all right, let's go send him to spread his.
Then you'll be stuck with
place.
only one of your 9 other wives.
So he goes to the Tartar lands, and
Eat
They,
some tartar sauce.
they get attacked by some Tartars, so they head down to a river.
Get some Colgate.
And a group of Northmen show up. And the Tartars are like, I don't want anything to do with that. We're leaving. And
wise choice.
yeah, they're like, all right, well, the Northmen are in the boat, so we're okay. We'll just go over here. Oh, it's an entire camp of them. I guess we're hanging out here now. And, they go into the big tent, and there's some language issues. They finally find, like, that Ahmed, who cannot speak Norse or whichever dialect this would actually be. So, he has his translator speak Greek to a guy, and there's one guy there that speaks Greek. So we get this, like, conversation happens, goes through this joyous guy, goes through his interpreter, goes to Antonio Banderas.
And we see it all on the big screen.
And find out we're at the king's funeral. And, there's this guy named Bulwith over here who is one of the guys in line to inherit the throne. And am I to understand that the guy that he just murders for touching that woman is the other guy that's supposed to...
That's his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his older brother.
Just kills him.
I think that was it was his older brother?
Yeah, I believe Bulwith introduced himself as the younger son.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Because I got the impression that was I want to make sure that I am the one that gets passed the torch here, and tried to make a move about it. So
yeah, the older brother definitely,
but wouldn't he be next
shot
line?
first.
Why would he?
It can get a little fuzzy.
Okay.
There might be duels or something involved.
But I will say,
Inbreeding, my good man, you're saying.
As Rob already implied, that problem number 2, you're saying problem number 1 is Antonio Banderas.
Yes.
Problem number 2, way too much, at least in the beginning here, of hearing a ton of exposition 5 times because it has to be translated to like 8 different people.
Mm-hmm. So, basically, brother kills his other brother. And we get to see a Viking funeral, including the queen that will go join her husband in Valhalla. They forgot to mention the part where all of the other, like, important warrior guys get to fuck her first.
Oh. Is that what was happening?
Yeah, then they get, well, she's drunk the whole time. Then they all get to screw her. Then the head, like, woman in charge of the ritual chokes her while they all stab her. Then they put her on the boat and burn her.
Because if she's not completely full of semen, she doesn't get into Valhalla.
Exactly.
She won't count as a boat.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I guess they didn't have time to dwell on all that. So, we get it.
This is a prequel of Midsommar?
Pretty much.
Is that what made it unwatchable? Michael Crichton?
Yeah.
He reshot it.
Like, you know what? We should probably just cut this out of the film.
The movie was originally 45 minutes longer.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
God.
Of just hardcore rape.
I'm just imagining the translator going, she said, oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Ow.
It was pretty much like that scene in It that they also cut out of the movie.
So, again, like,
Go there.
why I tend to, the more I learn about the Vikings, you learn something cool, and then you learn something like
terrible.
that, and you're
Yes.
like, fuck, Oh.
Po Buddy's Nerfic Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, this is the first I learned that the queen gets burned with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it only got worse.
He's got to take all his worldly possessions to Valhalla.
That's right.
But, now, in fairness, only one of them gets to go. The other women that he would regularly fuck, the only one of them is select. He doesn't get to take them all.
Also, whichever guy gets to do her last is pretty much out of luck, too, because he tends to dribble out before she actually gets on the boat. No more rumor again.
So,
I'm going to go refill my
That
drink.
was-
the next day,
One of the worst things I have ever witnessed.
Rob's going for margarita number 2.
Uh-huh.
The next day,
Can someone please
We
just
have-
put me on a boat and set me on fire? You can fuck me first. I don't care.
we all have to. It's part of the ritual.
I'll stab you. I'm not gonna fuck you.
Whatever.
No, Sharon chokes you out with the rope. All the rest of us stab you.
That's fine.
So the next day, we watch these guys fucking, like, the guy takes a wash basin, takes some in his mouth, spits it back in the basin, washes his face with that. Washes himself off, hands it to the next dude who does that. And they're all just drinking each other's sick water. And fucking, the one that's been translating just launches a snot rocket directly in there and just hands that off to Antonio Banderas. And he's like, I'll just be dirty.
I mean, but to be fair, that's kind of less gross than what just happened with the Queen.
Yeah.
And for the 10th century, that's actually pretty high on the
Snotted in her, too.
At least they thought to wash.
Yeah.
They didn't grasp the whole clean water part. But so then Antonio Banderas is like, hey, there's like a kid just standing out there. And they're like, yeah, we haven't decided if he's real or not yet. He's just like, are you fucking for real?
Well,
he's like, dude, we drank a lot last night.
We've had a row of kids around here that turned out to just be vapors. So
I would have loved to have seen a scene if like one of the big Viking guys just came by and threw a rock at the kid, and he goes like, "Oh," and they're like, "All right, yeah, he's real. Let him in."
I would have loved if it was like one of the guys, yeah, we have to, he has to stand out there for a little while we figure it out. I mean, Jeff over there spent the past 13 years raising a scarecrow. It was so devastating. We can't go through that again.
So, bottom line, we find out these are very superstitious people.
You are
They
not
are
orcs.
afraid of things coming out of the mists, and apparently children appearing out of nowhere.
I mean,
with good,
I have that same fear, though.
Oh, yeah.
with good reason, as we learn.
Yeah, later on, whenever
Children
a
in
child appears out of nowhere, it is bad. So,
Especially, after I've had some margarita.
I
I start seeing kids everywhere.
this kid comes in and he's like, okay, there's this, my dad, Wolfgar, he's having all these problems. There's these, monsters come out during the mists, kill everyone, eat them, take their heads.
I believe he was Wolfgar. His father's Hrothgar.
Oh, my mistake. Does his father have a habit of token up, getting high? So he's high Hrothgar.
Wow.
And his
Skyrim
brother,
joke.
Sammy Hagar.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
oh,
I spilled cheese on my leg.
so like that was me dropping the joke on the floor, and then Tony stepped on it.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. So this new king, Bolwif over here, he's like, all right,
Just say Beowulf.
Yeah, seriously.
so I'm the king now, so I have to make a decision about this person in trouble. Bring out the angel of death. Fuck it. We got a turtle full of bones. Apparently that's how executive powers wielded around here.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen. That's pretty much how we run our podcast.
That is pretty much. I mean, the turtle is full of snacks instead of bones.
Turtle's full of snaps, so we roll the die.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah, actually, next October,
The
we're
cupcake
picking.
landed frosting up.
No, we're picking the movie with bones.
Yeah, you're gonna roll bones.
I am.
All right.
fucking
Time to start eating chickens, I guess.
the angel of death. This old lady comes out who I'm pretty sure just like choked out the queen last night. Recovering from that, she comes out and is like, "All right, throwing all my bones out of the turtle. Like, we need to send 13 warriors. Who's going to volunteer?" We get the scene where everyone's volunteering, and everyone's like, "Hurr!"
And my axe.
Yeah, the testosterone's flowing. You're like, all right, some burly dudes are going to do stuff. And she's like, hold on. For like no reason, the 13th one can't be a Northman.
That's right. It needs to be brown, and Antonio, you're the closest.
Yeah,
I
and
guess.
everyone's looking at Antonio Banderas and like, guess what, buddy? You're voluntold.
Also,
And you can't bring your translator either. Fuck you.
Why?
Because they saw him in Puss in Boots.
Because there
and
can
they're
only be
like, oh.
13.
Yeah, there have to be 13.
Just like The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so send the translator. He's not a Northman, right?
He's old.
He's old. Yeah.
So?
he's not a-
Antonio Banderas is apparently, as far as they're concerned, a woman who rides a dog. So fucking whatever.
This was just a whole like racism thing. They're like, the brown guy's gotta die, like, he'll be, and they all assume he'll be dead first, so they're like, let's just take him along.
That seems like an awful lot of preparation for some racism.
Well, I mean, them turtle bones told her.
Do you
That's
think
true.
she
The
really
turtle was racist.
she didn't want anyone to go?
DeBeatus is racist. I don't know if you guys knew that.
What?
He says some crazy shit when y'all are not here.
That's you.
That's
And it's when
you
we're
finish
here.
your
Say that
second
when you are
margarita.
here.
No.
All right.
But
So-
do you think she just didn't want anyone to go, so she was just like, wait, no, one of them can't be a Norseman, and then everybody just looked at Antonio Banderas, and she was like, fuck, I thought that would work.
That could be it. Yeah.
Feel me. I
So
think that was her plan.
either way, they all mount up and get on their horses. They make fun of Antonio Banderas' horse called a dog.
Because it's small.
'cause it is small.
It's an Arabian horse,
Yeah,
and their
small and
horses
lean.
are all
Um,
big war horses.
I have to say, I'm a little upset that you guys kind of talked about the snot bowl while I was out of the room, mostly.
I know that was his
We-
one
What's my
note.
one
Joe.
Yeah,
note?
we read your note. We're good. Don't worry about it.
You could have been like, "Don't talk about the snot bowl."
I
Like,
shouldn't have to.
So
You should
important
know.
that I get fucking margarita number 2. We've been talking about this movie for 20 minutes, and you're getting pissy.
Or maybe should professional the fuck up and not leave in the middle for a damn glass of margarita.
When you said professional the fuck up, I pictured Rob wearing like a beer helmet with 2 margaritas in his truck. Which is not professional at all.
That is how he would handle it, I'm sure.
Except
He wouldn't have to leave the table.
I'm
yeah,
gonna- I'm
it'd be
gonna
like an
Jean-
Optimus Prime mask or
I'm gonna
something.
Jean Renault, the professional.
Uh-oh.
Just start capping bitches.
Be like, get everyone. Everyone.
Just don't date any young girls.
Okay, so now
What do I look like, Muhammad?
they so Antonio Banderas tries to introduce himself. They get caught up on Ibn, and he's like, no, Ibn is son of. So they're like, your name's just Ibn now. And then he goes off on an adventure with them. And this was probably my favorite part of the movie, of just like the part where he's watching them just be bros around a fire, and he learns how to talk to them from, he learns their language from that.
It
And
is
mostly
an
by
interesting way to do it.
deciphering
Yeah.
insults directed at him.
I can't even fathom how that works,
And-
but
Well, the actual historical figure that he's playing knew like 6 different languages.
except
So-
Greek, apparently.
Except Greek, yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently none useful
Oh.
for talking to the Vikings.
Greek and North.
Yeah. But
But who really spoke Greek? I
Yeah,
mean, come
there's-
on, guys.
when you're in southern Russia, you don't think to learn Norse.
until you're in northern Russia.
Till you're in northern Russia, yeah.
It's pretty good distance.
So, either way, like he's figuring out their language, and then the one I refer to as Tattoo Face, he basically he equates something to Ahmed's mother, and Ahmed's like, my mother was a woman of perfect virtue.
Oh, he compares her to a camp whore.
To a camp whore, yeah. And then he's like, and at least I know who my father is, you pig-eating son of a whore.
Coming out strong.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, damn!
Oh,
Tattoos guy's like, he's dead! And then they stop him.
Everybody else is like, yo, no, dude, that was a sick burn.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
burned, buddy.
They didn't even get the whole, he's Islam and he's calling him pig-eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lost on them.
No.
But the son of a whore part.
Yeah. And the not knowing who your father. You're a bastard, your mom's a whore.
My prophet died from eating pig.
So, so now the king's like, hey, I heard you got this special ability called literacy. You can draw sounds.
Draw sound.
Which the worst thing about it is that in 2022, that actually is a special ability.
Yeah.
Y'all are retarded out there.
Oh, boy.
Learn to read.
Shit, dude, there were people that they graduated from our high school
I know.
who could barely read or write.
I know. It's like 20% or something. It's just.
Get out of here. We don't want you here anymore. So you're graduating.
So I was like, really, Ahmed, your first thing you're going to show this guy, that the first sounds that you can draw for this man, you're going to be like, yeah, the one true prophet's Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
But that shit works, because like when they get to
Yeah.
the beach, the guy's like, hey, the king's like, check it out. One true prophet's Muhammad.
That's right. Tell me again about the 6-year-old
There
he
is
banged.
only
That's-
one God.
Yeah,
That's how the religious type are.
indeed, yeah. So All right.
So did you
They ride
keep
on.
going on this thing about underage, whatever, and he died of eating pork?
Mhm.
Is that real?
Mhm.
So the girl was too young and the pork was too old?
No, I believe he killed somebody's brother, and they poisoned pork and fed it to him, and he ate it because he was retarded. He was like, "I just killed your brother. What? You want to give me some food? Sure, I'll eat it."
Anyway.
So,
Sorry, folks. I just learned a thing.
I'd fact check it, Tony.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, look up David Wood.
Oh, no.
we are sidetracked.
Yeah.
We are.
Oh, look at the sound of this.
All right. So,
So-
again, they're making fun of his horse. So he's like, "Oh, special power number 2. I can make my horse jump over shit. Look, check out my horsemanship skills." They're like, "All right, see how you do on a fucking longboat."
But wait, I almost showed you where the lemonade's made.
No.
Sweet lemonade.
Also, Joe, I think you mean, let's see how you do in front of this terrible green screen.
Well, yeah, on the set of a longboat in front of a terrible green screen. But
While
yeah,
stage
Ahmed
hands
is just
throw
like,
buckets of water at you.
"Oh man,
Bad.
don't give me that soup. I am going to barf everywhere." Then we find out, apparently, if you are a Viking
I don't know why I
sailor,
still have my notes in front of me.
I don't know.
We've already
You,
been
uh,
over all my talking
You
points.
figure out where
Keep
land
your eyes
is
on
by yelling Odin and firing arrows off into the abyss.
Early sonar.
Yeah, early
Yes,
sonar,
exactly.
yeah. So eventually they hear an arrow not land in water, and they're like, "Oh, okay, there's some land." And yeah, land falls. They they get out there, and they meet the messenger for Lord not Wolfgar,
Farquaad.
Rothgar. And they see his gross ass town that he lives in. And like, there's no men there. I guess they've all been killed by these things. There's
They have no defenses.
No defenses.
No fence, no moat.
the town is kind of, it's not even wattle and daub. It's just wattle and filth.
It's
filth and
stick,
daub.
Stick and filth.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty much how I built this room here. We're all in.
So
It's also kind of sad where they're like, look at these people that are living in this nice green, lush land and everything. They're all just farmers and stuff. Nobody's fighting anything. There's no defenses. How terrible. It's like, no, that'd be kind of nice. As long as nobody's killing you.
Yeah, as long as there's not a
Unfortunately,
mountain full
yeah.
of cannibals.
Well, yeah.
and they're out of bears because they had to make so many bear skins. Now they got to come.
I got my bears.
Yeah. So, now, they go into Hrothgar's his main hall there, his great hall, and that's actually pretty cool. They talk to him for a bit. He's like, "Yeah, everything sucks here. I need you guys to take care of it." And they're like, "All right, let's go have a little huddle outside, talk about it." And Antonio Banderas is like, "My naked, blood-covered child senses are tingling," and he's just like, "Over there, in the bushes, there's some kid running."
What was this?
They all get on their horses and just ride them down.
I don't even remember what the point of this was.
Oh, the kid was saying,
The kid was from the farm that
Yeah.
got raided by the Wendell.
so the princess / queen, whose name we never get,
Yeah.
comes, like, you only find out she's the queen, like, way later on, comes out and is like, "I know where this farm is. Let's go." So they go to this,
okay.
cottage farm thing in the woods, and they do some stealth moves till one of them just fucking falls through through the wall. And
I think that was intentional.
I think
he was
he was
Kool-Aid
making
Man
the
in
best
it.
out of a bumble, I think.
Either
But
way.
yeah, they go in. They all come out looking disappointed. So then Ahmed goes in, and indeed, it's a slaughter in there. No one has heads. Everyone's been nibbled on. There's blood everywhere, and he just runs out and vomits.
The Reavers got him.
Typical Friday.
They also find some bear tracks.
Human,
Yeah.
bear, hybrid.
Yeah, they came to check out Camp
Man
Crystal
bears.
Lake.
Yeah. So, we find out that they are the Wendell. This is the name of this tribe. And we meet a witness back at the Great Hall who's seen them, and he's seen, like, this big fireworm that's hundreds of ships long. And these are like, they might run on 2 legs, they might run on 4, they might be men, they might be beasts.
So
They're-
just say you don't know, dude.
Yeah,
They're
really.
Transformers.
Well,
It
in
is-
fairness, he only had one eye.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like why are we questioning this guy? He has told us like nothing. They're
All right.
monsters that we already knew that.
Could be a gorilla or a bear. Who knows?
So Beowulf's like, check it out. Just all pretend we're sleeping. And then when, they come at night, because they come when the fog's out, and the fog's out,
Mostly.
we'll just jump them. And indeed we do. We get a halfway serviceable battle here. I do like, they steal heads. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. They behead one of the Viking guys. And
How did that happen?
John McTiernan.
that's it.
John
John
McTiernan.
McTiernan, yeah.
Because it just looked like he ripped the guy's head off.
It did.
Well,
he just ripped his
They
head off.
landed a cut in there first.
They did.
It did.
Okay.
It didn't look like it was a cut that, like, destroyed the spine or anything, but...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that was intentional. You were not supposed to know yet for sure. Is it a man? Is it a beast? Is it a monster?
Fuck you. It's not a beast.
So-
I knew that a while ago.
Fucking,
But this is, I would say now, problem number 3, which is the fight scenes aren't bad exactly, but
they ain't that good either.
no, because between the shaky cam and how fucking dark it is, like, it's like the worst of Michael Bay and the worst of Zack Snyder crammed together.
Like, this gets better, but this scene, you're like, it's okay. Like, I saw some fighting. I like Ahmed and the guy he's fighting's exchange where, like, the guy's like, here's a bear claw across your face, and Ahmed's like, here's a sword in your guts. And the guy's like, body slam? Just fucking throws Antonio Banderas down, like, down some stairs or something.
yeah.
And then they leave. They take all the dead bodies with them. They take all the heads.
Yeah, so they're just carrying.
Well, they take
their
all their dead
deceased.
Yeah.
and the heads.
Well, anything that lost a head, they took it.
Well, they left the bodies.
No,
They left the bodies, but
left
they
the
took the
Viking-
heads.
Yeah, they took
Yeah.
the heads. And they took their own dead.
Yeah.
So there's nothing left.
So I'm saying
behind.
anything that lost a head, the head was taken.
Yes.
So,
They're like, they always take the heads
they do.
every time.
All right. So now
They're
we're down
building with
2
them.
of the 13 warriors. They're still not 100% sure that they're men. They think they might be demons still. Because they're like, we killed some of them.
Yeah.
And they may have walked out of here. They may have been dragged out of here. It was too dark and the camera was too shaky. We can't fucking tell.
Beowulf's like, their blood's real enough.
I mean, they are definitely operating on that kind of movie. I'll say like kind of horror movie trope where even if the bad guy is not supernatural, they like have supernatural strength.
And also,
Plot convenience.
I interpret it that battle, we saw more of it than we should have.
Yeah.
Because that was indoors after dark.
Yeah,
With no torches lit or anything.
I'll grant that.
They wouldn't have been able to see real well.
But
Yeah.
that, I don't know, that it kind of bugged me because, again, with like the shaky cam and how dark it is, I almost couldn't see enough to really enjoy the fight. So most of what I got out of that battle is these are clearly guys in bear suits.
Yeah.
So you're kind of, defeating your own purpose. Like either make it so hard to track that you're not sure what they are, or make it clear enough where I can enjoy the fight. Instead, we found a middle ground that no one wins.
So
For me, at least.
Now we see, Ahmed here is getting his wounds treated from the bear claw to the face he took. And there's this woman who, like, no name, she's a doctor, maybe. Maybe. She's rubbing some cow urine in his wounds, and he's like, please don't do that. And she's like, okay, but then you're going to get a headache and get filled with pus. And he's like, yeah, give me the cow urine.
That's right. Put more.
Just rub it all in there.
No, just bring the cow over. Just have it piss directly in my face.
So,
Does it have to be a cow?
now they're like, all right,
No.
No, bring R. Kelly in.
Just cows make a lot of urine.
yeah,
so it's
well,
easy.
one cow will make enough urine to cover everyone's wounds.
That's right. Plus, she said it was boiled down, so you got to start with a lot of
Yeah.
urine to begin with, because you're only getting, only but so much out of that.
Chicken piss just ain't gonna do it.
No.
So
That's how you get salmonella.
Yeah,
you gotta
and
wait for it to come out of that all-purpose hole.
You
And you
know,
don't know
he's-
what you're gonna get.
he's Islamic, so you can't use the big piss.
That's right.
I was thinking more speaking on behalf of Tony Banderas, and he just wanted her to pee on his face. But anyway, moving forward.
All right.
So now we get the scene where like his buddy that the joyous guy is like, all right, here's what you do. See this log? You just go like, yeah, with your sword. Now it's pointy. Done. And then Tony Banderas is like, yeah, okay, I can't really even lift this thing, but I'll give it a try.
Well, to be fair, they gave him freaking Cloud's Strife sword
Yeah.
in Final Fantasy.
While it is technically a one-handed sword, this is like, to him, it's like the Buster sword, pretty much. And he's trying to swing this shit, and he's missing all over the place. He falls into like the trench they're making.
What the fuck?
And he's like, all right, I'm going to the blacksmith. And I like you see for like a minute, he's trying to explain it to the blacksmith, then he just pushes him out of the way and gets on the grinder, and he makes it into a scimitar.
Yeah.
And they're like, you made it into a knife. And he's like, twirl, 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 fancy, fancy, twirl, twirl. And they're like, yeah, you're still going to die, though.
Yeah.
When you die, can I give that to my daughter?
Yeah. So
I hope you like this twirling. It is the last time I will be skilled with this blade.
So there's a tracker guy. I call him Non-Perlman because he almost looks like Ron Perlman.
I mean,
Like if you took Ron Perlman and smushed his chin back to like normal,
made him normal.
He's got the caveman brow
Mhm.
and the cheekbones.
Sent him to a dentist.
and the mullet of an adventurer.
Yeah, he did have a very adventurous mullet.
Made him not crazy and ridiculous.
So
He's reminding me of somebody else, but I can't fucking think of it.
What's his name? Isn't he a wrestler? He was the bouncer in John Wick. It reminds me of that guy.
I still haven't watched any of the chunks.
Really? Huh. Did we do John Wick for the podcast?
No,
If we do,
I've
we'll
only
have to have
seen the
John
first
on.
and the second one.
Yeah, me too.
But anyway,
Fucking man up that wrist before you go rolling that dime.
Whose turn is it to roll?
Yours now. Huh?
all right. So now they're like, all right,
I
here's
believe it was Brian's
Yeah.
last time when I rolled.
All right, well, that would make it mine then.
so fucking now we get a pointless side plot because Hrothgar here, he's his eldest son is a bitch. And he's like, and they're like, okay, he might betray us, so we got to make an example. Kill his ginger. So,
I all of this just
So
fucking hell.
like, there's a cool plot line here. They just didn't give it anywhere near the time it deserved, and then like they did like a scene and then just abandoned it.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're like,
Seems to be their MO.
yeah, that's what they do with a lot of things in this movie. So.
Well, I mean, they had to do we missed them running a train on the Queen.
But see, this also, maybe this is more historically accurate of how things would have been handled. But my first thought would be like, so to make a point, we're going to kill one of our bigger, better soldiers.
Yep.
So we are weaker. Not smart.
Well,
He
Well-
did say it was an expensive lesson.
Yeah, but
And it you don't want that prince friggin' using those big guys to kill some of your big guys.
yes, there is that. But, fuck.
So anyway, so now Joyous over here walks over and just picks a fight with the ginger, throws a bunch of mud on him. And then they challenge each other to a shield smashing contest.
To be fair, the ginger should have been grateful for the mud because he should have caked it on his body to avoid horrible
sun.
sunburns.
Yeah.
that was a dumb
Kind of
choice
true.
taking that shirt off to
It
start.
really
Yeah,
was.
really. Yeah.
First of all, you're going to blind everybody around you.
He's
and
like, get the cow urine.
they're not going to be able to
Burned
work.
again. So,
Well, I don't know. We did just see him starting out. Maybe halfway through, he was going to take it upon himself to roll in the mud.
He's going to have to...
he's like, I don't like that you threw mud on me. I usually wallow in mud.
Yeah, it's not time for mud yet. I need to get
It wasn't
warm.
my choice.
Yeah, I need to get warm first, then I roll in the mud.
Yeah.
I have a process. Later, I'm going to go massage the cow's prostate so
Joyce
we
is
can
like-
get some more urine.
You'll be thanking me when the predator shows up.
Oh, I wish he did.
So,
That was a
fucking
totally different movie.
now, so they have this shield smashing contest, and like Joyous just gets his ass wrecked at it. But then he, Prince Douchebag's like, all right, well now kill him, just cause you broke all his shields. he has to die.
Mhm.
And Joyce is like, "Oh, we're fighting to the death. Cut your head off immediately.
Wink.
Just
Wow.
immediate decapitation."
That was it was a Sun Tzu.
Yeah, well, they explained it after
Yeah.
the deception to keep the prince guessing. And now they know that Bullywhips guys are strong, but now they have to think about what else are they.
Yeah.
Also
And then-
quick and clever.
Then Joyous goes and makes sweet love to the prince's second biggest guy.
Yeah.
And
Makes an
now,
example
now
out of
he's totally confused. We
Um,
don't know what track these guys are going to take.
so now Tracker Man over here, he sees that the fire worm is coming down the mountain. Antonio Banderas, he's like, "Oh, there's this woman stuck outside the gate. I'm gonna go get her. Gonna take my my dog, jump the gate."
It's not even a woman, it's a little girl.
Or a little girl.
He,
Yeah.
he has keen senses of finding little
Children,
kids running
yeah.
through the
We
field.
just have wandering children in this area.
Yeah, this place has trouble keeping track of their
It
children.
was little Bo Peep. She was
Yeah.
out watching her sheep.
and that's why she's sacrificed.
So
Fuck her.
he goes out there. He sees that the fire worm is just dudes on horses with torches. He's like,
"Oh, this is bullshit."
"I ain't afraid of no ghost. Let's go back in here. Get behind the walls we made."
he tells Joyous that it's cavalry, and he's like, I would have preferred the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
And he like hops the wall and the sun's like, boom, just it's dark.
Yeah. Oh, it's nighttime now.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of dusky when they were filming.
It was
but
foggy. It was
Yeah,
like,
but it
was
got
overcast. Is
dark
what it
fast.
was.
It
And
did get
it's
dark
like
fast.
Yeah.
took you till midnight to get over that wall.
All right. So, the Eaters of the Dead attack the Wendell, and
They also managed to take out a lot of guys before they even get like near the fence. Basically,
Mhm.
they just start throwing torches and things, and yet still they wipe out a
spears.
ton of them.
Yeah. They had some bows. They would have done a number on these guys. But anyway, so
Cover guys.
tattooed guy dies trying to get a torch off of a roof. He gets some spears thrown at him. And then, they start getting inside the wall. Some of them start jumping over the palisade. And Ahmed kills one of them. And he sees that it's just a man. And he's like, "They're just men. They're just men." You can see the testosterone like welling up. And he just keeps saying that as he goes fucking ape shit and just stabs like 20 dudes. Most of them from behind.
Yeah, he suddenly unlocked the cheat code. Now
Yeah.
he just murder with reckless
Well, he's-
abandon.
He hops on a shield and surfs down a flight of stairs.
If they were demons, that would have been different.
Yeah, he's no
Men.
longer afraid
Yeah.
that they're demons. He knows they're just dudes.
Not afraid anymore.
See, the Viking guys are just like, "I don't care if I die. That's fine. Whatever. That's fine." They're not afraid. But
Man.
he's like, "I don't want to die."
Men, bears, Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. If it bleeds, I'll fight it.
Yep.
If it don't, I'll die trying.
So the biggest one of the guys here, one of the 13 Warriors, fucking clotheslines a horse and kills like the dude riding it, and then fucking gets spears thrown at him for a amount of time that would have made Boromir jealous.
I was just gonna say he gets Boromired.
Because they're in his front, they're in his back. He takes like a dozen spears
Yeah.
at least before he dies.
This was also particularly sad to me because, like, I tracked him early and I was like, this would be me if I was in this situation. And yeah, he just gets destroyed.
And they're like, "Stop throwing spears."
He's dead already. Stop.
So the rest of the surviving warriors are like, "Okay, grab some pikes, plant them in the ground. These dumbasses are just going to run right onto them, pike the shit out of their horses."
And they do.
Yeah, and then Dead Eaters are like, "Oh, well, we should go."
Somebody cut the brakes on my horse. I can't stop.
"Oh, they got poles. Cheese it. Let's get out of here."
But
But-
I don't understand any of this.
That ain't enough for Ahmed. He's got the bloodlust. He's fucking running after him, swinging his sword at a puddle. He's just he wants more people to die. And we learned that 5 more warriors have fallen.
Mm-hmm.
He says 5 names. I don't
It
know
does
who they
not
were,
matter. It
other
could
than
not
Tattooed
possibly.
Man and Big Guy.
Tattooed Man also got a shitty death.
Yes.
He was reaching for a torch
Yeah, that was dumb. That was lame.
and got piled full of arrows.
And he was the one that they tried to make you remember by putting a tattoo on his face.
Yeah. This guy's gonna last. He's gonna make it.
That's right.
Spoiler
'Cause
alert.
He's
you'll
different.
recognize him.
And he has a sort of rivalry with Ahmed. Like there's kind of friction. Maybe they might have a bro moment later. No.
It was like in The Office when Michael Scott marked that Asian girl's arm with a marker so you could tell them apart. That's pretty much the same deal.
That's
So-
terrible.
I didn't do it.
No, I know.
It was funny.
So
Also, spoiler alert, apparently one of the 13 warriors was the little kid that was on the boat, supposedly.
I guess.
What? King Joffrey?
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
Because
Okay.
if you actually count like the men that are there, there's only 12 of them.
mm-hmm.
The kid was supposed to have a big part. All of it cut out.
So
maybe he was the little naked kid they found.
Yeah.
I mean, ah?
He just stripped
Point
down and was
is,
running around the
that's
woods.
how easily these people are just taken in and out of this movie.
So Ahmed has a Vikings are cool moment here where Joyous comes up to him, with a drinking horn, and he's like, "Oh no, I cannot have fermented grapes or wheat." And he's like, "You dumb bastard, it's mead. It's fermented honey." And he's like, "Give me that."
Honey, bitch.
Oh shit!
It's bee shit.
And then the healer lady with the cow piss, she comes over and just like, "Let me get a tug of that. All right, you want fuck?" And he's like, "Yeah, all right."
It literally is just like, oh, I can drink now. And a girl just magically appears and like, we're going to do this.
Which makes you
All
wonder.
right.
It makes you wonder.
And that's it for her.
I've had mead. It doesn't work that way.
No, it might have been,
Not for me anyway.
Might not have been a real girl.
I think it
Might have been a
won't.
cow.
I don't think it'll allow you to kill John, but it'll subdue him to the point where he's pacified, and you could throw a D20 at his head and he'll fall over.
Mead?
Oh, mead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mead's never gotten me that far, but I've never drank as much mead as I did blackberry brandy. That was what I was drinking that
Oh,
night.
that was brandy. Never mind. Okay.
That was a whole bottle.
There's one of the like,
Down a fifth?
contrary to what you would think, John is a happy drunk.
No, I would think that.
His emotions go in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Instead of the cranky bastard.
He's normally just a dour, miserable soul.
Well,
Uh,
brings out the best in all of us.
It just brings vomit out of me.
Well, the best.
Yeah. All
After
over
I
the
punch you
place.
in the
Yes.
gut.
John is very dour. When he drinks, he gets very happy. You usually don't throw up, so when you drink, you
Throw
do.
up, yeah.
It just, that's how it works.
All right, so now this healer lady, I think you see her for like one other scene, and then now the next day, King Beowulf here is like, "Well, we can't just stay here and let them keep coming and killing us, so let's just go attack them." And so the queen's like, "All right, check it out. I know this mad woman. She'll say stuff. It's the best I got."
Yeah.
So they go to see the local mad woman,
I should probably just omit myself from this part of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah. Surrounded by a
Ghosts and
gaggle.
goblins.
so Rob is elected to play with the Transformer.
You want to
All
see
right.
how fast I can
Participate.
field strip a transfer?
All right. So to try to put this in the most politically correct terms possible.
Bunch of retards.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay. There we go.
Not even accurate,
Yeah.
but
The Vikings
Offensive.
have taken all of the people.
sick and
Infirm.
yeah.
Yeah, or who have conditions of a genetic nature.
Anyone
They're trying
who
really hard to not say Dutch cheese bus.
no, pretty much. If
The-
you're
the
different,
death-
you go
Not
live in
anymore.
the cave.
The death cheese long ship.
But yes, anyone who has a physical deformity or a mental challenge or such, they have sort of exiled to a little colony in a cave out in the woods.
I spent some time there. It was nice.
I'm sure.
You belong there.
Why'd you come back?
Nobody was paying attention.
They kicked him out.
Yeah. Yeah. Weirdly, even though he was forced to go live with them, he still insulted them and made them feel less than
Yeah, he's-
themselves. So.
Every time I make another leap, I hope it's the leap home, but hasn't happened yet.
Oh boy.
But you're not making anything better when you get there.
That's true.
No, he just makes it worse till they kick him out of that
Yeah.
timeline.
Oh boy.
Yeah, wait,
Oh, boy.
What was the evil version?
Of
There was-
Sam?
Yeah, there was a lady that was leaping. Oh, whatever. Anyway,
Yeah, let's not get started down that
12
show.
Lords of Leaping.
Samantha?
let's not get
So-
down that.
Alex Mack.
All right. Either way, this lady's just like, all right, check it out. If you go and you kill their queen and their head warrior, they'll just fucking crumple apart.
But that's
Like-
2 people. It needs to be 1 people.
Yeah, speaking of reshoots, though, yeah, here you go. A number 1, because she's, like, oh, just sneak in their cave and kill their queen, and that will put an end
No,
to
no,
them.
it's just like you'll find her in the earth,
Well, yeah, I'm just paraphrasing, but
and they cannot figure out that means a cave.
which, yeah,
Don't
Jesus
they have to
Christ.
find the Sith Wayfinder first?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
But-
then the dagger.
Yes, and then 500 other things. Doesn't matter. The point is, she's like, go in there and kill the queen, and then they're done. Oh, and you also need to face off against the one guy with the horns. That will be put in later after post. Like, it's just obvious.
So, they're going along. They find like some bone bear skull sculptures, and Antonio Banderas is like, "Oh, they think they're bears. Where do bears live in the winter?" And they're like, "In a cave." And they're like, "Okay, let's find a cave."
And all of this, I was slapping myself in the head because I'm like, wait, so you're just piecing together that the best way to deal with them is to find where they live and attack first. They think they're bears and that they live in a cave. Like the wearing a bear skin didn't alert you to that. The attack you with bear claws didn't alert you to that.
Nope.
The basic idea
Banderas
that you
is
seem to be
still-
intelligent and should attack them first didn't figure that out.
He is the only one in this operation that has any kind of brains, and he has just stopped repeating to himself, "They're just men."
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
But they were so clever with the whole ruse of killing that dude so they didn't know what was coming. Where'd all that go?
in a cave.
Everything's covered in mud and shit. I mean, it's like,
So-
it's just life.
They find this village. There's like no one in the village except this one dude who like wakes up and comes out of a tent and just gets immediately bludgeoned in the head. And then they find a bridge. They're like, let's go across the bridge. There's a cave. And they like fire an arrow through a dude's head that's standing on the other side of the bridge.
That's pretty nice.
After one of them like sneaks over and like stabs the other dude in the head. And then they just go in the cave. And they take off some of their armor to make them sneakier. And they go through this, like, man-bear cave, man-pile, gross thing.
That's right. The Man Bear Cave Man Pile.
You don't want to be there.
Coming to a shopping mall near you. Sponsored by Dave & Buster's.
They do some fucking, like, some rope antics through a waterfall. And then they find, like, a group of the bear people here just doing, like, a chant, some kind of religious ritual thingy. And they're like, yeah, all right, we'll murder you all while you're doing that.
It's Burning Man.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Or I think Rob said Coachella.
there was too
while we
many
were
of them
watching-
in the room. There was no way they could sneak through to get
Yep.
further without doing that.
Yeah, so we got to
So-
climb down the waterfall
Um,
in the least stealthy way we possibly
so
could.
now, they, oh yeah. So they find this like pile of bones, and the pile of bones is propping up the statue of the biggest pair of tits in the ancient world.
Biggest pair of tits in
I don't know.
Minnesota.
I'd say the Sphinx probably beats it out, but
The Sphinx might have bigger titties. Well, no, you're thinking of the Never-Ending Story Sphinx, because the real Sphinx,
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
got
got
any
titties.
this is just the lady's head.
It's a cat with a
Yeah,
lady's
it's
head.
cat with a lady's head.
All right, yeah, I
Because
am
it's in
thinking of Never-Ending
cat
Story.
stories. So if anything, it's titties.
I mean, to
would
be
on the
fair,
ground.
John probably has drawn pictures of titties on
Yeah.
all the Sphinx.
On all the major
Photographs
landmarks.
that
John would go to Egypt. and
I
draw
would go to
titties.
Egypt and draw tits on it. Yeah.
It's also got an Eiffel Tower with big tits.
He'd
But he
stand
Oh
up-
no, the Eiffel Tower's a dick. Come
Well,
on.
but you do-
just needs a pair of balls at the bottom.
Yeah, but he still drew nipples on them.
Oh, God.
John instead just has to settle for drawing on Tony's and my car at work.
yes.
Oh,
Cover them with dicks.
okay.
So
You know what though?
That's what happens when you let your cars get that dirty.
My car got that dirty wall at the damn place.
that was the fucking construction workers dumping filth on it
Yeah.
in the damn parking lot.
To be fair to John, I mean, you gotta keep your drawing skills up. You
Yeah.
know?
So, all right.
Use
Either
it or
way-
lose it.
They find all these bones and this big pair of titties, and they're like, all right, we're near this queen's lair. The rest of them go and fight the guards, and Beowulf here is like, all right, I'm going after their woman. And fine, sir. She's like hanging out with this one dude that he immediately kills.
Immediately.
And she's like, all right, I got like a long, like bony pinky nail that I dipped in some poison, and you have a fucking like borderline greatsword. This is a fair fight.
Yeah, definitely. She's got.
She pokes him.
She's
She
squiggly.
does. Yeah, she's squiggly.
Somehow.
You know, of course, by doing that, stepping into his reach, he just turns out and fucking decapitates her. I would have liked him to have like come out with her head and brandish that at like some of them.
Yeah.
You know, make them run away that way. I thought that would be kind of cool.
That would have.
Maybe punt kick it into the waterfall.
Yeah.
Some of them would probably, instead of going after them, some of them might dive in the water to try to get it or something.
Or
But
if
anyway,
she exploded and like the containment unit in Ghostbusters and like some kind of mist came out and hit them all and they had to run back.
Balrog shows up
Yeah, something.
so
with titties.
they're like, okay, we gotta go. One of the Vikings that you like, I don't know who you are. You're gonna stay here and hold them off, I guess,
One of them.
because you're kind of wounded. Sure, guy. I don't know you. Good. Thank you for the heroic sacrifice.
That wasn't Tracker Guy?
That was not Tracker Man.
Affable bearded man number
Yeah.
10. I don't know.
No, Tracker
Okay.
Man survives.
Yeah, this, folks, goes to show you. I can't even tell with Joe's things which one was which.
No, Joyous, Tracker Man, and the Ginger survive.
The Jew, the Italian, and the redhead.
But anyway, so they
The
figure
state,
out, they're
right?
like, they come to a dead end. They're like, all right, we're
See,
fucked.
Here's the problem. I know you're referencing the state.
Yeah.
The chances that 90% of anyone that might listen to this will get that.
I don't care. Look it up.
Well, they're not going to look it up. They're just going to assume you're an asshole.
Okay.
I mean, all right, fine.
Whatever. It's
At
their
this point, I don't
problem,
think
not
it's
mine.
an assumption anymore.
okay.
I think at this point,
True,
they
okay.
have evidence.
They are correct. But you say you don't care. But when we lose listeners, that's not good for any of us.
I mean,
We haven't lost them yet.
yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Well, no.
besides, they're just
No.
they're not canceling us, Tony. They're canceling themselves.
That's right. Here's the thing. If they,
Here's the other thing, though. We're not. You're right. We're not losing listeners yet because we haven't gained them yet,
Yeah.
and we're never going
but,
to at this rate.
but if they don't come on because they don't like what I have to say, then they're not really our listeners to begin with, are they? They were never our listeners after all.
gentlemen, let's finish this episode.
Oh God.
Let's
Okay.
We're close.
Yeah, we're so close. I
So,
can feel it. My balls are tightening.
They find the stream that goes under some rocks. They hear some waves. They're like, oh, okay, we're near the Thunder Cliffs or whatever. Fucking jump in the water. We'll swim for it. They swim out a hole and they're in the sea. And they're like, all right, cool. Let's head back to the palace. And they do.
Which that is the one part of this movie that I actually had a problem with,
Why is that?
because by their beliefs, like they weren't sure if they were going to make it. They're like, it might be too far for us to swim, and we'll just drown.
Yeah.
They would have rather died
Died
with a sword
fighting.
in their hands
Yeah.
and gone to Valhalla
Mhm.
than left their swords in the cave there and tried to swim for it and died and gone to the Viking version of hell.
I think it was included, though, because I know to kill Beowulf's mother, Beowulf did have to descend in water for like a day or something stupid. Like he held his breath like fucking forever, and then he had to do it again to come back out.
It's been so long since I read the actual Beowulf.
I think she lived at the bottom of a deep lake in a cave or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some basis in the original story that this came from, but I do see where John's coming from
Yeah.
with that.
So either way,
Yeah, at this point, if you're looking for logic.
Beowulf's like, check it, I'm gonna die. She poisoned me. He's like, I'm gonna die all poor. And the king's like, yo, you gotta have my kingdom for like a little while till you die. And then he's like, no, check it out. That guy knows how to read. Pointing to Ovid. He's like, he could write my story down, and then I'll be wealthy that way. I'll live on in the hearts of everyone.
That's right. And people will tell your tale.
And yes, folks, this is how Make-A-Wish was born.
And I'm like, okay, cool, the movie's over. And they're like, nope,
No.
Hell no.
We told you.
We're gonna
Yeah,
Beastmaster.
remember?
Yeah.
Remember, I told you. Yeah, it's the woman and the guy with the horns.
guy.
We're gonna
He didn't die
Beastmaster
yet.
this shit. That horde's showing back up for another fight.
Test audiences
Why?
said you're not ending
Yeah.
this by decapitating a woman in a cave.
So
Can't imagine why.
So this scene has some cool parts though. I like that as they're getting ready to defend against the horde of the Dead Eaters, you see the queen hand out to the doctor woman the special child killing knives in case the defenses fail
Or if the younglings get out of
or
control.
if the younglings get out of control.
Just put one down to send a message to the other.
We got special knives for this situation.
They're serrated.
I can't even.
And then
I understand the point, but it's like, how much better is it going to be when you just start running around murdering them?
it's still better than living in that filthy ass cave with the giant titties and the man bear filth
Or
pile.
being eaten alive or something.
being chewed on alive.
I understand, but it's like one's really terrible, but the other one comes with a sense of betrayal that makes it just as terrible. I don't
being
know.
chosen as the new mother.
So, yeah. It's
So Viking funeral level. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
last stand time.
We already established
That's
that the queen.
Nope. Moving on.
We get the closest thing to a plot arc here is Ahmed's like, all right, I'm going to pray to Allah, but I'm going to pray instead of like, get me out of here, all that. He's like, these are my last few minutes on earth. I'm going to pray for you and basically for the strength to live them well.
Kill some heathens.
Yeah, let's kill some shit. And then they all...
Infidels.
But then, like, they get inspired because Beowulf comes out. He's dragging his sword. He's got his red dog, and he's like, let's fucking... I'll die
That's
here.
not like a penis around.
It's red. The dog's got the red rocket out.
He's got his red dog out.
Well, he's got his sword, yeah.
Sniffing the air, if you know what I mean.
So... All right, the horde comes
The Nordic pointer.
comes to the wall here to attack, and is like
Oh,
worse
it's
than
true north.
it's worse than useless because like Beowulf, who is poisoned to shit and can barely just drag his sword, just immediately kills the guy in charge. Just walks over to him, murders the horse. I guess the man in charge, like he didn't have to ever fight; he just had to have a cool hat.
I guess.
Because he
Maybe?
didn't do very well.
No, he did not.
He didn't.
And there's like maybe 2 minutes of fighting, and they just pussy out. They're like, "Oh, our leader's dead.
I mentioned
Mom's
this,
dead, Dad's
I
dead,
mentioned
let's
this
go."
While we were watching, it was like I think the lead guy had like a life alert bracelet on.
Yeah.
As soon as he fell, everybody else just stopped what they were doing and ran.
Maybe they just really didn't want to go.
I
They're
guess,
like,
but how do they even know?
yeah, like every time we go here, a lot of us die, and so one guy was watching the king.
It could be.
And he's like, "Oh, he's dead. All right, brrr, let's go."
It's a kind of bear hat. I think it was the kid. I think it was. Our
I
lead
do
guy.
want to see the guy just outside the gates with the horn, like looking at his little bracelet thing, like she had in the Ewok adventures that showed when her parents died, and just like, "Brrr, time to go."
I think he just fell. I think he had 2 tusks. Whatever I'm calling it.
Yeah, or somebody just out there like, I feel like I just heard a million voices scream out, and then we're all silenced all at
It's
once.
just one of the bear guys sitting at a folding table offside. Oh my God! It's Beowulf with a chair.
He's dead. He's dead.
God is my witness. He's folded in half. So anyway,
That's Beowulf's music.
so
Coming from behind the scenes.
So Beowulf kills this dude. I forgot to mention, they all do the war prayer that John recited at the beginning. And it is legit cool when they do it. And Beowulf's like, I'm just going to fucking sit on this throne that's propped up against the door for whatever reason and die. And then, they give him a Viking funeral. And, the translator guy's staying behind, I guess. We don't know why. Like, Joyous is just... I live with these people. I guess I'm their king. I don't know.
Maybe.
Sure, why not?
I've made their son into my bitch, so I guess I'm taking over. And then Ahmed's like, all right, I'm going to start to write this tale down as the movie ends.
And we won't see King Beowulf again until Ghostbusters 2. The end.
13th Warrior. 13th Warrior.
What? Uh-oh. What's going on?
He's getting his random.
Oh.
Oh dear, Earthtracks is doing a Steven Seagal movie.
Oh, no.
By the way, do you have Stone Cold?
Stone Cold, the dangerous. I don't know what Stone Cold is.
Oh. Have to save that for later. Let's see what we got now. Oh, no.
No, I'm doing it.
But we're
Yeah, just
getting
make sure.
shit ready.
Okay.
OT doty. All right. What?
You gonna bring us back in?
Yeah, that was 13th Warrior. Remember all the stuff we said? All the coughing?
Do you remember the stuff you used?
No.
All right, whatever. I'm taking it over.
So,
Tony, go.
RottenTomatoes.com. Critics gave this a score of 33%.
33.
33.
All right.
God damn you, Rob. Audience gave this a score of 66%. That's their thoughts and opinions. What about you and yours? Let's go. We'll start with John. Did I do that last?
I fucking love this movie.
Fucking loves it.
I fucking love it.
What was it?
I mean, maybe I'm biased because, like, on my mom's side, quarter Danish, so I got some Viking blood.
Some Viking other stuff. He's been filled a couple of times.
Yeah.
Sent on a boat. A couple of times.
They're seamen. No, but anyway, I loved it in the theater. I still love it now. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it today.
Okay.
Swords, cannibal cavemen. What's not to love?
Let's find out. Joe.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So, yeah, this movie, really, I would have liked to have, if it's going to be 90 minutes, I would have liked it to maybe cut out a fight scene and we could learn some more about these Vikings, or, cut out a few of the establishing shots or something, and like, let's develop some fucking characters, or, have some sort of plot arc, or, develop anything.
I suppose I certainly have the benefit of having read the book, and my mind can kind of fill in some of the blanks.
Or tell me a little bit more about Viking culture other than, they're brave guys with swords that stab bear men. So either do that, or this should be a 2-hour movie, and, they should have expanded on the things I just said. Either way, it's like, if you just want to see a action adventure in a, medieval setting, with some pretty cool fights and a lot of cool things to look at, and you don't care at all about, like, learning anything about the characters or world, then this movie's good for you. I could see watching it again, like, in the background. This is a very good, like background movie, especially like if I'm like writing about game or something and trying to come up with some fights or, something like that, or getting a sense of adventure. It could work for that. But like, there's like nothing to this movie, like, and especially because it takes a historical figure and mentions a lot of historical things, and then just kind of goes in a direction that's not all that interesting or exciting for me. So I would say, like, I'd lightly recommend this movie. I don't think, like, I definitely don't hate it like I thought I did. But there's not a lot going on here. And I feel like this was a missed opportunity to do something better. But that being said, though, if you want to just see, like, some Vikings, go on an adventure, it's a perfectly serviceable adventure. This movie doesn't really do anything that egregiously pissed me off. No one's, like, doing flips or, like, that. I think one guy had 2 swords, and a lot of these guys would have been better served fighting with shields, and maybe a few of them should have had spears. But, like, there's nothing egregiously bad here. All the action scenes are serviceable. I believe that all of these people could kick my ass.
Even Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. Rock me, Amadeus. In fairness, it's not hard to kick my ass, but, like, I mean, these other guys, they would unquestionably fold me right in half. But anyway, I'm gonna say light recommend, and I'm gonna hand it off to Rob.
I gotta say my opinion is pretty much the same as Joe's. I mean, it's one of those movies where it's like, it like you said, it doesn't really do anything terrible, but it doesn't do anything great. It just kind of exists. It's like, here's a film. Take it or leave it. And that's exactly it. I could take it or leave it. I mean, like, I want to say there are movies that do this better, but I also can't name it off the top of my head.
I
So
was thinking the same.
it's one of those where it's like, so is this a bad movie, or is it just a serviceable movie in a bad genre? So I guess on that, I'm a little bit under Joe, where I don't think I'm going to recommend it because I don't think anybody will really get anything out of watching this. But I'm not going to tell anyone not to watch it, if that makes sense.
I could build like a Lego set while watching this.
I could build a Lego set while watching anything. Yeah. Because, my focus is not on the movie. But yeah, so there you go.
Can I just say, when I showed up here and you guys were finishing up watching the movie, I was looking at stuff on IMDb, and it was like, since you liked this movie, you would like, and it named all these generic ass like Viking movies that I've forgotten about, or like the Roman ones that weren't Gladiator and weren't that interesting
like
either.
all the Helen of Troy movies and
it was just like,
stuff.
I would not like any of those. Thank you.
Maybe you'd enjoy the Clash of Titans.
Excuse me, IMDb. I said I watched this, not that I liked it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to poo-poo on movie John likes. I just
I
didn't get
that
the
was
same
just me
out of it.
joking, regardless. But yeah, I'm in the same camp, so I'll try not to say too much of it again. But it is one. I feel like I might have said this recently on the podcast, so I apologize. But I feel like it doesn't count. Where once again, this feels to me almost like Avatar, where it's like, if you like that version of Dance with Wolves, that's sci-fi, you might enjoy this, but there are other versions out there, so just take your pick. But I do have the problem where it feels like someone wrote the movie, or they had the story, whatever, and they shifted it in the wrong direction. So like, we get a ton of exposition about things I would have liked to see, and then we see a bunch of things that I don't give a shit about. And it's just like, why did we choose to do it this? Like, he became an ambassador because he fell in love with the we don't care. It doesn't matter. You could just say that and just move on and get to where he's learning the language and talking with the Vikings. So then we could learn about the Vikings and give a shit when they die, or even know their names at least. Things like that. We seem to have two end fight scenes with these villains, the woman and the lead bear man, but they're both like half a second long or something. Like, it's so anticlimactic.
So the bear man, it's just a murdering. I don't think he even fights back.
He got
he
knocked
does
off
a little,
his horse.
but yeah.
Again,
like, how about one cooler fight scene where Beowulf does something cool, whatever, before just slaughtering them wholesale? But instead we kind of rush through all that.
He didn't even use his thum.
Yeah.
But at least we learned how they got the plans for the Death Star.
But yeah, like, there are the cooler elements. Like, I like this band of Vikings in general. I think are kind of cool, and I like that kind of whole thing. And I would have liked to see more of that. But it's like, I thought it was cooler when they're all like banding together, saying the little prayer to fight these guys than the actual fight.
You're right. I think more camaraderie scenes with the Vikings probably would have made the movie better for me. Like, more scenes of them bonding,
And also fight scenes where I could tell what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, that too.
But
There wasn't one thing where it was like they kept scene transitioning in the middle of a fight.
Oh yeah,
And that was super weird.
I think it was the first raid by the fire serpent or whatever, and when they took off, it kept doing an overlay shot.
Yeah, it was like a fade
of different things.
Like
It was so
transition.
weird and confusing, and I was almost getting like vertigo from it. But yeah, it's not offensive, but it's also not all that special. So this is your cup of tea, or if you really like Swords and Sandals, you can throw this on. It's fine, but I wouldn't say you need to go out and check it out.
Question is Rob ready to ride the D20 of fate straight to Valhalla?
Well, if by that you mean ready to chokeslam the D20 of fate.
Oh,
All right, well, let's see it. Let's see it. Because it
talking a good
put
game.
you right in its place before.
yeah. Oh,
That's a 7. All right.
not quite. Not quite.
It's a 7 with authority, though.
All right.
Oh no.
I don't know how. All right, I gotta find this stupid movie first of all. 1984 Starman.
Wow.
Oh,
That's Jeff Bridges, right? Or who?
maybe.
Live googling.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges, Karen Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
First question: why was there no Starman 2?
Most common answer. Did you watch the film?
Yeah,
Yes.
because no one gave a fuck.
Science fiction romance film.
Yep.
Yeah.
Directed
By John Carpenter.
What? Fuck you, D20th baby.
Oh, okay. This is
Yeah.
Sure.
okay.
Oh god.
The fact I know I've seen this movie more than once.
That's it. Just saying fuck you. Back.
But I can't remember a damn thing about it.
I don't think I've seen it all the way
Does
through.
not
The
bode
fact
well.
that it's a John Carpenter movie and I can't remember a damn thing about it does not bode well.
Back
Well,
in the sack you go.
Find out in 2 weeks.
Or, whatever. Let's not make promises, Joe.
Either way, let's get the show off the air.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast and haven't turned it off by now, we appreciate it. Please subscribe to the podcast. Tell your friends. Make them subscribe too. At gunpoint if you have to. It's fine. I'm not above it. Leave us a positive review on iTunes or wherever you get podcasts that have reviews available. If you want to check out our past episodes, you can check us out on 4ampodcast.podbean.com. I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to end that here. But thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in the next one.
Adios.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.